I'm going to give it a minute or two to allow people to keep signing in, and then we'll get started. For those of you that are just now signing on, I'm going to give it about another minute to allow other participants to sign on, and then we'll get started. This would be a good opportunity to make sure that you can see the agenda on your screen and also that your audio is working. All participants are muted at this time. The setting is that way for the presentation. But as long as you can hear me right now, we just want to make sure everyone's audio is working correctly. Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Rosie Ledesma. I am the Benefit Program Manager for Tucson Unified. We are happy to have our participants joining us this evening for the Winter Virtual Retirement Seminar. Once we complete the seminar today, you will be able to access the recording of this presentation on the Benefit SharePoint page, along with any materials that the presenters have available for us to include in the SharePoint page. Please note a couple of things before we begin. As you can see on the agenda, the start time will be from right now. After my introductions, we'll go ahead and jump into our presenters. And the presentation will continue through about 6:30 p.m. We do have the Q&A feature on throughout the presentation for our participants to go in and type in any questions that they may have. It is visible to all the other participants, so that way if maybe you have the same question, you can see that it's in the chat. We will have our presenters on throughout the presentation, answering those questions as we go through. The only exception to that will be our payroll team. Payroll will do their presentation, but if you have any questions throughout the seminar or even after, on the agenda here, you can see that we do have the contact for the payroll department for you to reach out for any inquiries that you may have that are not answered in today's presentation. I believe that is all that I needed to go over on the agenda. If the presentations finish before a little bit earlier, we will again keep the Q&A on after the presentations are complete so that we try to get through all of the questions throughout the night. We want to say thank you to our presenters. We do have Jennifer Navarrete from the payroll team that will be presenting today, followed by Serena English with ESI. Following Serena's presentation, we will have Ben and Bruce Nelson with Precision Retirement Group. And then we have Spencer Jeremiah with the Arizona State Retirement System presenting. Again, this is an overview of the steps that one may take on their journey to retirement. So without further messages here, we will go ahead and begin. Jennifer?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Navarrete. I'm the payroll coordinator here with TUSD. I'm going to share this up, provide you with some important payroll information in advance of your separation. Let's see here. Okay. So number one, questions should always be emailed to payroll@tusd1.org. Number two, your system access and portal access will be cut off as soon as your separation EPAR is processed. Please print any pay statements or W-2s from the iVisions portal in advance of your separation, as there is a charge of $2 per pay statement for former employees. Final pay will be issued via direct deposit. Please email payroll@tusd1.org on the pay date to request that pay statement. There is no charge for pay statements issued after date of separation. Now, if you're enrolled with our alternate pay plan, that alternate pay plan summer reserve will be paid out in a lump sum payment on the next pay cycle once the separation EPAR has been processed by payroll. For employees who qualify for a separation payout, separation payouts must have governing board approval. So the payout may not be issued for 2 or 3 months, depending on timing. Once governing board approved, these separation payouts will be set up on the next regular pay cycle. The payroll associate will send a letter to the address on file to provide the pay date and the amounts. Amounts are gross pay, so please keep in mind that the actual net amount will be smaller due to mandatory deductions such as state fed taxes, Social Security, Medicare, and ASRS if hired prior to January 1st, 1984. The payouts will be direct deposited to the account on file at the time of separation or sent to Precision Retirement depending on bargaining unit agreement. Again, please email payroll@tusd1.org on the pay date of the payout to request that earnings statement. If the payout meets criteria for sending to Precision, the company will contact the employee, so they will contact you for an exit interview. Don't forget that you will receive a 2025 W-2 from TUSD. If you move before that W-2 is mailed out at the end of January 2026, please email hrdocs@tusd1.org to get your address updated in the system. If you separate at the end of the second semester, you will receive a 2026 W-2 at the end of January 2027. Okay. When you submit your retirement with ASRS, they will post the ending payroll verification, EPV, to their website for TUSD payroll to complete electronically. TUSD payroll cannot submit the EPV until your final pay has been issued. In the meantime, the ASRS system will send you an email or a letter about automatically 10 days after your retirement date stating your employer has not submitted the EPV and ASRS needs that in order to calculate your retirement. The notice also says you might want to contact your employer. Please disregard that notice. That notice is meant for employers who sit on the EPVs, but TUSD payroll submits the EPVs as soon as we can. If the EPV has not been submitted, it's because we are still waiting on information or your final pay to be issued. In the meantime, ASRS will issue estimate checks for your first 3 months of retirement, so your retirement payouts from ASRS will not be held up. Last but not least, please email payroll questions to payroll@TUSD1.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. We will be hearing from Serena English from ESI now.
Right, thank you. Let me just share here. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm just gonna really quick pop my camera on just to say hello. Just to put a face with the name. So my name is Serena English. I'm the client manager for TUSD's return to work, phased retirement. It's called a lot of different things, but that kind of roadmap to retirement. If you decide you're not quite ready to retire, you've reached peak retirement with ASRS, but you want to keep going for a little bit longer. ESI is the partner with the district to allow you to do that. So I just wanted to again, put a face with the name real quick before I turn off my camera so you guys can focus on the information here. We're just really pleased to be great partners with TUSD to bring this program to you. We work really closely with the district in doing so. So thank you for having us today. Thank you guys all for your service, all the years of service, all the folks out there, whether you're certified, classified, or administrator. The work that you've done over the years has just made such a difference in the community for the students. Here at ESI, we're just incredibly grateful for all of those years of service. And I hope that you feel that if you decide this is the right step for you. Okay, so just a little bit about ESI. If you're going to come work for us, you probably want to know at least a little bit about us. So the first thing you should know is that we are very experienced. We have been around since 1999. So we just had our 25-year anniversary last year. We were founded on the Return to Work program, but we also have substitute staffing. We work with 60 districts across the state. We have 6,000 subs working every year, serving our district partners. With Retire Rehire, we have about 160 clients. So we do mostly school districts, but we also work with municipalities, community colleges. And again, we're just here in the state of Arizona. This is where our heart is. And we help about 1,500 retirees per year benefit from this program. So hopefully, you'll know that you're in good hands if you come work with us. And our mission is with integrity and heart, we support and serve those who educate and serve our community. We all know what it's like if a classroom doesn't have a teacher or when any district position goes unfilled, right? It just kind of everybody else has to pick up and do that extra work. So we love this program, the Return to Work program, because it keeps the most experienced employees where they're needed the most. And then you guys get to make extra income towards the end of your careers. So that's just a win-win for everyone. Okay, so why does Retire Rehire exist? Why is it even a program? Well, it all starts with the IRS. The IRS states that anytime you retire and start collecting your pension, you must complete what's called a separation from service. Each state defines what that separation of service looks like. So in Arizona, if you start collecting your ASRS pension benefit and you want to continue working for any ASRS employer, the rules are you either have to abide by the 2020 rule, which means you must limit your work to no more than 20 hours per week for no more than 20 weeks per year. So that's way below part-time. Some folks think they can stick to the 2020 rule and then they get a few weeks in and realize they're going to go over that really quickly. So that's tough to track. And then the other option would be to stay out of work for 12 consecutive months and then hope your position is there, if you want to return after that 1 year off. So these are the two rules that are in place. But when you come work for ESI, ESI is not an ASRS employer. So we basically lease you back to the district. You can continue working in your current position full-time without having to worry about the 2020 rule or taking that year off, okay? No penalties to your benefit. You just continue working for as long as you decide that you'd like to. And then you're collecting your pension and your pay. And I'm going to tell you how all that works as well. So definitely you're going to want to explore ASRS's website as well. ASRS is here to give you some really great information on understanding all the different options you have for your pension benefit. You want to give yourself plenty of time to explore all of that. But this is how it works with ESIs. You come work through us, you don't have to worry about this. You collect your pension and you're continuing on with your sorry, I lost my screen here. Continuing on with your employment. Okay, so how much do I get paid? This is the next big question we get asked quite often. How do I know what I'm going to make while I'm on ESI? So first of all, you're getting paid now every 2 weeks from the school district. Once you join ESI's return to work program, you're going to have 2 income streams. So rather than getting paid from the district, you'll start getting your pay from ESI. You get paid every 2 weeks from ESI. Only during your contract period. So if you're a 10-month employee, we're going to divide your full salary amount across the pay periods during your contract. So there's no balance of contract. We just like to, that's a little bit of a change for folks. So we just want to make sure that you understand that. If you're 11-month employee, we divide your pay equally. 12-month employee, divide your pay equally. Your pay date will likely be different than the pay date of TUSD, but you're going to get a payday calendar when you onboard with ESI, so you'll know exactly when your pay dates will come. And then once a month, you'll start receiving your pension benefit from ASRS. Okay. You still want to know how much. Okay, so this worksheet should have been shared with you. It's also on the intranet. If you don't have it handy, no problem. Again, you can find it on the intranet. But we're going to focus on the top 2 boxes to help you figure out what your new pay with ESI will be. So box number 1 is your estimated benefit with ASRS. Again, you want to go on their website, set up your personal portal, start exploring all those different annuities, and that's where you can also find your estimated benefit amount. So if you know that amount, you can write that in that box. And then estimate number 2 is your employer's ESI plan. Every client we work with has different terms for their Retire Rehire program. So, get a sip of water here. So with TUSD, you'll receive 80% of your exiting salary when you retire. So you calculate 80% of your exiting salary, and you can write that in estimate number 2. That's your estimated ESI income. So if you add your ASRS estimated benefit and your ESI income, that will give you a very rough idea of what you will be earning while you're on ESI. I keep saying estimated benefits. So something to consider is once you retire and start collecting your pension, you are no longer a contributing member. So that 12.5%, it changes a little bit every year, will no longer be coming out of your check. It does not come out of your check while you're on ESI. If you return to the district after your time with ESI, if you're eligible to return, again, you're no longer contributing. A lot of folks think that when they go back to direct hire, they start contributing again. The only time you would start contributing again is if you unretire for some reason. So that's just something to keep in mind. So while you're calculating that benefit. You'll also no longer be having your insurance come out of your check because I'm going to go over your insurance options here shortly. So that's why we say rough estimate. As you get closer to, having those discussions and to your retirement date, you can get a little bit closer to what your actual pay will be. There are additional pay and benefits while you're on ESI as well. So you're eligible for 100% of supplemental pay while on ESI. So any coaching, extra duties, tutoring that you would normally do in your current role, you can also do while on ESI, and that is at 100%. There's no performance pay while you're on ESI. There's no insurance support. So again, that's definitely a big expense for folks. So I'm going to go over your insurance options here shortly. There is a subsidy towards your insurance. You have to have 10 years of service or more to qualify for that. That's if you choose COBRA or ASRS. I'm going to go into that a little bit when we go over the insurance as well. Leave is 1 PTO day per month. Holidays are the same as district calendar, so same thing there. You can apply for the program anytime throughout the school year. And then you do 1 year on ESI to complete that separation of service. And then there are some employee types that can return to the district, or you can renew for another year on ESI for as long as you'd like to continue working. Okay, so what about insurance? Again, definitely a big expense for folks these days. So we want to make sure that you understand your options while you're on ESI. So the first option is COBRA. With COBRA, everything stays the same. It's the coverage that is tied to your last employer. So that would be TUSD. Once you separate from the district, you're no longer a direct employee. So you'd need to obviously choose what coverage you'd like to have. Again, COBRA, everything stays the same, except you're paying your premium plus what the district has been contributing on your behalf. So that sounds like, well, that's a lot. I'm going to be paying all of that amount. This is one of those plans that you could qualify for the subsidy. So that subsidy starts at $150 towards your premiums. That's for an individual. I believe it's $210 for a family plan. And that's, again, if you have 10 years of service or more, you qualify for that. COBRA or ASRS, you would have that subsidy option. COBRA, you will receive the packet for COBRA about 10 days after your separation from the district. If you waive that coverage, you cannot sign back up. So you want to make sure that you're exploring all your insurance options. And also know that COBRA lasts a maximum of 18 months. So keeping that in mind for your time with ESI and then what your plans are after that. ESI, as your employer, does have insurance plans. There are individual or family plans available. You can view our plans on our website. They're through Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have medical, dental, vision coverage. And then if you're interested in comparing the rates to COBRA or ASRS or spousal insurance, just reach out to us and we will share those rates with you. Again, ASRS is another option. You can view their plans on their website. That's another one where you would qualify for that insurance subsidy if you have 10 years of service or more. And ASRS could be your insurance for as long as you're retired. So definitely that's something that you'd want to explore. You could go on as a dependent on your spouse's insurance if that's an option for you. You could also go on the marketplace, but we don't have that one up there because people think marketplace and they think, oh, I would have a subsidy towards that. There would not be a subsidy towards insurance if you chose to go with a marketplace plan because as ESI would be your employer, we do offer a plan. So that just gets a little complicated. But again, please explore all your insurance options to make sure that you are covered during your time with ESI. Okay, so it takes 3 teams to make this wonderful program happen, TUSD, ASRS, and ESI. So starting with TUSD, you do need to be approved to join the program. So you want to start with your supervisor and HR, let them know that you are interested in the phased retirement, ESI, a PREO, whatever every district refers to it a little bit differently. So let them know and then also follow HR's steps for all of your process with to come on board with ESI. So you do need to be in good standing. And again, you just want to let them know as soon as you know so they can start the process and start taking you through all the steps on the district side. And then with ASRS, you want to start your retirement process about 3 to 6 months out from your estimated retirement date. Again, that gives you all that chance to start exploring all those different annuities, make sure you're making good decisions there, and gives ASRS time to, to process your retirement. So you want to just give that a little bit of time. Don't want to be making quick decisions there. Those decisions that you make when you retire stay with you for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure you take your time. And then with ESI, you want to start about 1 month out from your anticipated start date on ESI. So basically, you can be retired on a Friday and start with ESI on a Monday, as long as all of your steps with ASRS is complete and all your onboarding steps with ESI are complete. So on the other side of that worksheet, there is a step-by-step guide to coming on board with ESI. So it's an online-based application. We make it as easy as possible for you. But there are some steps we need to complete. So you may not have applied for a job in quite some time, and we understand that. So if you have any trouble with any of the steps, submitting your IVP fingerprint card, your teaching certificate, if you're certified or admin, we can help walk you through that. Our team is here to help make it as easy as possible for you. And once you start and reach out to us, we're going to walk you through every step of the process. We'll do a renewed background check. We do need to collect your I-9 documents. So that's like your passport or your driver's license and birth certificate. So again, all the steps that you would need to take if you decided to, take a year off and go work at Home Depot or anywhere else. We need to, as a new employer, just walk through all those hiring steps. So again, nothing to be worried about. We walk you through that, but we want to give you that month to make sure you have all that time to complete that process. And then once we have the information from the district about your position information, you're going to get an offer letter that will have all your salary information. If there are supplementals and things that are added throughout the school year, you're not going to see those on your initial offer letter, but anytime something is added, you will receive an updated offer letter. You do want to make sure that offer letter is signed before you return to work. Okay, so having that offer letter lets us know that you are employed with ESI. It lets us know that we can pay you. And also that you're covered under workers' comp. So please, if you haven't received your offer letter, reach out to us. We can let you know what's going on, what might be causing a delay. We want to make sure that you're covered and that we can pay you. You also need to make sure that you are retired from ASRS. I know that sounds strange because it's called retire or hire, but we have had folks who kind of skip that step. They thought, hey, I'm going to let the district know I'm going to retire. But you still need to choose your annuity. You still need to go through that process yourself with ASRS. So we don't want you to have any penalties to your benefit. So two things, make sure you're retired from ASRS at least one day before you start with ESI, and make sure that you have a signed offer letter before you return to work. And so you will also be setting up your own personal employee portal. Because just like any other employer, you want to be able to set up your direct deposit. You can set up your tax withholding decisions there. So, if people think that you're a contracted employee, that doesn't mean you're W-2. No, you're a W-2 employee while on ESI. So we're going to help you, make sure that you're set up with all your tax withholding and direct deposit. And you'll have an employee portal where you can see your leave bank, all those things. And you'll receive a welcome letter, kind of guiding you through what it's like to be an ESI employee and making sure that you know where to go if you need any employee assistance. Okay, so let's see here. There we go. So if you are ready, again, there's the 7 easy steps to joining ESI. You can also explore a little bit more on our Retire with ESI website. There's helpful videos there. There's links to ASRS. There's links to benefits. There's just lots of information. If you, again, want to sign up for, we have an open Q&A the first Wednesday of every month. You can schedule a one-on-one phone appointment with one of our contract specialists, Amber or Teresa, who are 2 of the kindest people that I have ever worked with. And when you reach out and start working with them, you'll be like, oh yeah, Serena was right. They're wonderful. So we just really hope that you reach out, get some information. And if you decide that this is right for you, if you're just, going to retire and you're done, then I'd appreciate you at least listening, and I'll just let you free and pass it on to the next presenter. So thank you all. Thank you for your service, and thank you to TUSD for having us today.
Thank you, Serena. We did have some questions coming up in the chat pertaining to ESI. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we'll be looking at those questions in the chat and answering those as we go along through the presentations. Moving along, we have Ben Nelson and Bruce Nelson presenting for Precision Retirement Group.
Just pull this up real quick. I think it's here. go. Oops. Okay. What is this? Just a minute. How does that look? Can you see it?
Yes, thank you, Bruce.
Perfect. All right. My name is Bruce Nelson, and Ben Nelson is going to be answering your questions. So as we go along here, feel free to let us know. We probably have been in our 8th year in doing this. Precision Retirement Group, we're a nationally recognized benefit consulting company specializing in the public sector. This plan that we're talking about is a option or an alternative to getting your money paid out in the form of cash. So as we go through that, this is what, for those that are eligible, and we'll go through that in just a minute. This is the option that you have for these dollars. Okay, so the original way that employers paid out money when people retired from TUSD, from any school district, city, or county, they would pay it out in the form of a taxable event. And as you can see in this illustration here, you look at your payout of $10,000. This is pretty typical of what would happen. Now, some state taxes are a little higher than others. So you might end up with about $6,200 after you had about a $10,000 payout for your accumulated sick or vacation pay, whichever would be applicable. Tucson Unified District established this plan. Like I said, this is a 16th year, and it converts your accumulated sick and vacation pay, severance pay, to an employer contribution to employer benefit plan. Okay. Don't worry, there won't be a test on this. But option one is it goes into a medical trust account, medical actually expense reimbursement trust. Or option two, it goes into a special pay 403B plan, a tax deferred option. Most people we find in this particular situation are not retiring to get to this money. So a lot of them don't necessarily want the money to be taxed. They sure like the money, which they get, but they don't necessarily want it to be taxed. So in this situation, worst case scenario, we have the tax deferred option, the 403B, which most of you are probably familiar with. However, if there are individuals that want the money for health reimbursement to help pay for medical expenses, premiums for health, dental, then the medical trust is a great option because it's a tax-free benefit. So who's eligible for the plan? You must be age 55 at the separation of service, and the payout must be over $3,000. So guess what? If you're at $2,500, you're just getting a payout of the $2,500 less taxes, state, federal, FICA, Medicare. Basically, it's paid directly to you. It's a taxable distribution, no different if you were just working. What we do to determine if you're eligible for one or the other plan is we go through the exit interview, and you will be contacted when you retire or upon retirement, and you will go through this exit interview. Now, these questions are not difficult, okay? What we're trying, in essence, to determine is, do you need this money for medical or not? So the questions basically help you to think about what your health or your expenses might be in retirement. Do you really need this to cover medical benefits? So do you understand your employer's post-retirement health insurance coverage for you, your spouse, and dependents, and all costs that are associated with this coverage? Are you staying on at the district's health insurance plan? So are you going to stay on for COBRA, or are you going to go on the ARS? Does your spouse have health insurance that will cover you? A lot of people that retire, since most people in education do not retire at age 65, and under your state retirement plan in Arizona, as quite a few other states, you're going to retire much sooner than 65. Okay. And in that particular situation, you're going to have to pick up health insurance or some type of coverage. So this is what the exit interview questions try to do. So does your spouse have health insurance that will cover you in retirement? If so, do you have to pay for the coverage? Some people I talk to them and it's like deer in the headlights. I'm going to go on my wife's plan. Oh, my spouse's plan, whatever. What's the cost? Uh, I don't know. Well, let me just give you kind of a heads up. A lot of employers do pay when you add your spouse to the or cost you if you add your spouse to the coverage. So then do you have access to other health insurance? We got Davis Monthan Air Force Base right there in Arizona. It's not too in Tucson, and it's not too unusual to have people that have worked in the military. Some of those people have acquired or have benefits such as TRICARE. So in that particular situation, they have no interest in having or shouldn't have any interest in putting the money in the medical. So there are some circumstances that basically separate other retirees from ones that might need it for health insurance. So let's suppose it goes into the prime plan. That's a medical trust plan. It goes in tax-free, and it's an after retirement healthcare expenses. So you can use it for COBRA. You can be reimbursed for COBRA health insurance premiums, dental insurance, Medicare supplements, vision, pharmaceuticals, long-term care, just a cadre of eligible medical expenses. One of the big benefits here is there is no FICA taxation or Medicare taxation. So FICA and Medicare tax on your normal paycheck is equal to 7.65%. In this particular situation, you don't pay that. That is gone forever. Also, you don't pay any state or federal income taxes on this money either. The money does get interest. It grows tax-free. Currently, it says earning 3%. Actually, it's 3.75 with a minimum guarantee of 1%. So you will never lose money in this particular account. In addition, the money can be used to cover spouses and dependent expenses. If a participant passes away, a spouse or dependent can continue to use the funds in the medical expense. Upon death of the participant with no spouse or qualified dependents, the funds revert back to the employer. So guess what? We want you to use the money in the medical until it's completely used up. We encourage that. So it's kind of a triple tax benefit: tax-free contribution, tax-free interest, and tax-free reimbursement. The reimbursement process. Basically, most retirees use their funds each month to be reimbursed for qualified medical premiums. Okay. You can set this up on what we call a reoccurring premium so that every month money will be directly taken out of the account that you have with us and put into your checking account. Okay. You don't have to fill out a form every month to do this. Simply complete the reimbursement claim form and submit a copy of your paid expense or health insurance premium notice. From that point, every single month, the money comes out. Here is a sample of your medical expense reimbursement claim form. It probably looks similar to an FSA, flexible spending account reimbursement claim form. So when you talk to Ben or Mac in your exit interview, okay, they will go over some of this stuff with you. Now, let's suppose that you don't need the money for medical, okay? Then the money will be deposited into a special pay 403B account. Here's the benefits of that plan. One, it's completely liquid and transferable. So if you have your sister's, boyfriend's, cousin's financial planner doing your financial work, the money can be transferred to that plan if it's a 403B or an IRA. So it's completely liquid. If you want to turn around and take the money out for a trip down to Rocky Point, Cabo, wherever, again, the money is completely liquid. There is no waiting period to request funds, so it can be made available almost immediately. The benefit of this to most of you is you're going to defer state and federal income tax. Like I said, most people, they're not retiring to get to this money. So the fact that it can be deferred until maybe another tax year when your tax situation might be better, then in that particular situation, it will be tax deferred and you will pay tax on it when you take it out. It goes into a fixed account. Currently, like I said, it's paying 3.75. Apologize the error in that. There's still a guarantee of 1%. So again, it's always going to earn you interest. It's not going to go negative. There are no sales charge or surrender charges. Okay, so there are no fees to this. It's completely liquid. Another benefit is, again, you're going to save 7.65 because you will, through this process, you will bypass FICA and Medicare tax. So immediately, even if you turned around and took the money out in cash, you're still going to have 7.65% more in your payout than if it were to be run through payroll, which it doesn't. But so it's a great benefit. It increases the payout to the participant and allows you some choices. So you can see right here in this slide that you can see the difference based on the one person that needs it for medical. They're going to have all of the money available to use. The other person, basically, obviously they have the health insurance or that aspect of their coverage covered. So they're just going to tax defer it. So at some point in time, yeah, you'll have to pay the state and federal taxes on it. But there's that 7.65 that's going right into your pocket effective immediately. Earnings. A guarantee of principal and reasonable interest are the key to matching an asset to a known liability. So in this particular situation, the money goes into nothing more than a group fixed annuity. The insurance carrier is National Life Group. They've been around for 176 years, and they're A+ rated. We've been using them with our plans since 2002. Employer contributions will be deposited into the interest-bearing account if it goes into the medical or if it goes into the special pay account. So here are what the administrative fees are. Okay, as you can see on the 403B side, zip, nothing. Okay. It's a little bit different on the medical side because we have to adjudicate claims. Our administrator, a company called Pelion Benefits, they do the administration, record keeping, so on and so forth. So their monthly administrative cost is $5 per month. That comes out of your account automatically. Reimbursements, though, is another thing. This is a way that you can control the cost for reimbursement. If you want money to be reimbursed for your health insurance premium every month, okay, that's $4 each month. So that's $48. Plus the $5 per month is $60. So roughly you have a little over $100 a year in administrative cost with the plan based on a monthly distribution of $4. Now, if you decide that you say, listen, I'm just going to save it all up for one reimbursement, I don't care if it's 20 pages or 30 pages, it's still only going to be $4. So you can control that EFT cost depending upon what your situation is and what you want to do personally. Enrollment forms, once your medical needs analysis is done or your exit interview, our office, Ann, will be emailing you the completion, for your completion, the enrollment form for either plan, depending upon how the exit interview went, you'll be sent that. If you go into the medical, you'll get the reimbursement claim form, you'll get the ACH authorization. We highly recommend that you sign up for a ACH reimbursement. That's a lot quicker. You don't have that old saying, the check's in the mail. So that comes to you almost immediately after you submit for a reimbursement. Special pay distributions, if you're in the tax deferred side, basically you'll have a form to fill out there as well. All prime plan administration requirements are performed by a third-party administrator. That's Palion Benefits. They've been doing it since our inception. They do an excellent job. They send out statements quarterly. You can determine if you want those quarterly statements emailed or you can still have a hard copy, whichever you want. Preferably, we'd like the email because it's a pretty much more reliable, but that's up to you. There's our web access 24/7, 365 days a year, wherever in the world you can get Wi-Fi, you can get access to your account. So that's our website there. What to do next? Submit your intent to retire to TUSD. Find out how much you are receiving for your sick and vacation pay. You can either email Ann at that number or give us a call at our 800 number, and we will set up an exit interview or medical needs analysis for you. The two gentlemen that will be handling this, and you'll get this information as well, is Ben, and his email will be available, as well as Mac. They will be setting up specific exit interview times that you can select that works for your situation. So that's a prime choice plan. Here's what will happen. Once you identify with the school district, you'll say, okay, I'm retiring. We'll set up an exit interview. The exit interview done. Once the money comes into your account, Palion Benefits, okay, will send you out a welcome letter. Once you get the welcome letter, you're good to go. So that means money is in your account. You can start being reimbursed for eligible medical expenses, or if you're in the special pay account, you can take the money out or transfer it or just leave it in there. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us, and we'll get back. This stuff will be on the school district's website, and we will set up an exit interview and get you taken care of. The process probably takes less than 20 minutes. So it's a very quick process. So please feel free to send us questions, and we'll be available until the end of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. And again, we have more questions coming in on the chat. So as the presentation goes along, if something comes to mind that you want to ask any of our presenters, please be sure to utilize the Q&A. Next up, we have Spencer Jeremiah with the Arizona State Retirement System.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'll just note quickly, for any questions you put in the Q&A box, for any of our other presenters, if you see that it's a question geared towards ASRS, you could go ahead and leave those questions there, and I will answer them after my presentation. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, can you see everything?
Yes, thank you, Spencer.
Perfect. So hello, everyone. Again, my name is Spencer Jeremiah, and I'm a retirement specialist with our member education team. I'm excited to tell you about your benefits with the ASRS today. We're going to be going over a high-level overview from our retirement system. Our goal today is to provide you with some general information about some benefits offered to our members. We will also show you where you can access the resources you need to stay informed. I have provided a QR code you can scan with your phone or tablet to our Road to Retirement Guidebook. It's also going to be included in the materials afterwards from HR and TUSD. The guidebook is not required for the presentation. However, it's a great resource for you to follow up on for other topics we're going to discuss if you need a refresher. So let's start with the basics. The Arizona State Retirement System was created in 1953 and has expanded to over 700 employers across the state. This includes TUSD. Other employers are with state agencies, universities, and community colleges. The big three colleges, of course, ASU, U of A, NAU, school districts, and some charter schools, all 15 cities and towns, and others you see. Let's talk about the type of pension plan we offer to members. The ASRS is a 401A defined benefit plan. It's a cost-sharing plan, which means the employer and the employee contribute equal amounts through payroll. All the contributions are invested to generate revenue to build the fund for the future of the system. This allows the ASRS to provide a lifetime pension to all of our retirees. Pensions are such a rare benefit offered by employers these days. Most employers have transitioned to offering their employees 401ks as part of their compensation package. In fact, only a small percentage of employers even still offer a pension, and we are lucky enough to be included in that small percentage. So what does this mean for you? You are vested with your first contribution and can look forward to a guaranteed lifetime pension. Now you may be asking, what about that pension? How do you calculate it? The benefit amount is determined through a formula with three components. We take the credited service times the graded multiplier, which is a percentage based on those years of service, times what's your average monthly compensation across a period of time. This information can be found on pages 13 and 14 in the Road to Retirement Guidebook, if you have it with you. The first component, credited service, is earned in different ways. The most common way to earn credited service is through the retirement contributions that are withheld from your paycheck. When the ASRS receives at least one contribution in a month, you are credited with 1 month of service. Also, if you had previous ASRS service from a different employer or a break in employment, as long as you left the funds on account when you were gone from that employer, then you are building on top of what you already had from before. The second component of the formula is the graded multiplier. The graded multiplier times your years of credited service determines the percentage of your average monthly compensation you will receive as your benefit when you retire. As you can see, the more years of service you have, the higher the graded multiplier. The third component of the defined benefit formula is the average monthly compensation. This is money you are paid to do your job. Compensation pay includes base pay, overtime, and for school employees, it also includes additional contracts, 301 monies, and career ladder. Average monthly compensation is an average of the highest 36 or 60 consecutive months of salary within the 10-year time frame from your termination date. Now, a common question is, how do I reach normal retirement to get this pension? Normal retirement means a pension benefit without a reduction. This is determined by your date of ASRS membership. For those whose membership began before July 1st of 2011, there is more than one way to reach normal retirement. The criteria for normal retirement is 80 points, which is based on your age plus years of service. The great thing about the 80-point system is that there is no age limit. We had a member at age 48 with 32 years of service who was able to and did take a normal retirement. 62 plus 10. If you add 62 plus 10, you fall short of the 80 points, but it is still considered normal retirement, or age 65 with any number of years of service. Whichever one of these three happens first for you is when you have reached normal retirement with the ASRS. The law regarding normal retirement criteria was changed for new members as of July 1st, 2011, and eliminates the point-based retirement. Effective July 1st of 2011 and after, normal retirement no longer includes the point system at all. Age 55 with 30 years of service or more is the first mark for normal retirement. Age 60 with 25 years or more of service. Age 62 with 10 or more years. And age 65 with any number of years. Early retirement is an option, but with early retirement, there is a reduction in your monthly pension amount. If you are at least 50 with 5 or more years of service, you may retire before you reach normal retirement. However, a reduction is applied to your benefit depending on your age and credited service. So what does a member really mean? A lifetime benefit is just one of the many member benefits we have. Let's take a look at some more. Here's what's available. Member education, which we provide with learning tools and resources available to you that will help you with every step of the way in your planning for retirement. There's plenty of learning opportunities for you, not just through this presentation. We have them on our website. We have videos, e-learnings, and live webinars as well that we host ourselves. Service purchase, which is buying back previous public employment service that is not already included in your credited service, so you can boost your retirement amount and service time. Our long-term disability program. This plan provides for a monthly benefit designed to partially replace income lost if you are unable to work due to an illness or injury. Leaving before retirement. If you leave an ASRS employer, you have choices. You can leave your funds on account and retire from the ASRS when you're eligible, or you can take a full refund of your account and close it out. Like we mentioned before, your lifetime pension. It is guaranteed a payment each month, and your pension does not go down. The ASRS premium benefit helps cover the costs of health insurance premiums for retired members, for if you take health insurance through your employer, COBRA, or the ASRS. We pay amount towards your health insurance premium if you have at least 5 years of service. And our survivor benefits. If you should pass away prior to being retirement eligible, your beneficiary will receive a survivor benefit equal to double your contributions, including interest accrued. If you should pass away after retirement, the benefit is based on the retirement annuity option you selected. Now, we've covered a lot of information in a short amount of time. So I just want to assure you, we have all the resources for you with what you need to know on our website. Get what you need to know at azasrs.gov. The convenience of using our online resources really puts you ahead of the game when planning retirement and understanding your benefits. We have an easy to access website arranged in a user-friendly way for all you need to know 24/7. Let's take a look at what you'll find on the Members tab. The Members tab is full of great information to help you understand a range of need-to-know topics. Member Education is the first menu option under this tab. This tab is the place to go for retirement planning and benefit information. Here's a brief description of what you can find on this tab. It'll be your road to retirement checklist. Route 1, Your Journey Begins, is an e-learning for new ASRS members to help you understand the benefits. Route 2, Map Your Progress, which is for members with over 5 years of service. Route 3, Destination Insight, is a webinar or in-person group meeting that we host every quarter for those of you within 3 years of retirement. Know Your Insurance is a webinar or in-person group meeting for members retiring in the next year who want to know about health options and health insurance programs at the ASRS. Route 4, Next Exit Retirement, is a webinar for members who plan to retire within 6 months. I do want to point out that Route 3 and Route 4 also have pre-recorded versions that are on our website. We also have, like I just said, a number of member videos and e-learnings. You'll be able to find this. Again, these are 24/7 available for you through the member tab, If you want to review the different annuity options, health insurance, retirement readiness quiz, and other topics, you can refer to the videos and e-learnings available under the members and the member videos tab. The videos, like I just mentioned, Route 3, Destination Insight, and Route 4, Next Executive Retirement, are available there. One of the most important things you want to do is register and visit your member secure account. Logging in allows you to make updates and changes on your My ASRS Secure account. You can view or print information such as account statements, benefit estimates, which we will go into more detail in the next few slides, or if you need us to release information to a spouse or family member, there is a form to be completed. You definitely want to keep your contact and beneficiary information up to date, so go in there often. You can also register for in-person, webinar, or one-on-one appointment meetings. You can also access our member secure messaging platform from within your secure account. This is where you can submit documents, ask questions, and get answers electronically. To get detailed information on how to use the member secure messaging function, on our website under the Member Videos tab, you'll see a self-titled video for member secure messaging. Best of all, you can apply online for your retirement when the time comes. The last thing we'll be covering today is how you can generate your own pension estimate from within your ASRS Secure account. One of the really great self-service features available on this website is the ability for members to create estimates for any of the disbursement methods we provide, such as retirement pension, refund, survivor benefits, or long-term disability. Today, we're going to focus on how to generate your pension estimate. Upon logging into your secure account, you'll see the welcome message and your demographic information in the middle of the page. The menu panel is located on the left-hand side of the screen. If you're on a mobile device, the menu button will be in the top right corner, and then the menu will open. And it will allow you to toggle between different sections with your secure account. For the pension estimate, you will click on the retirement link under the benefit estimate section. The next page that loads will display your own personalized pension estimate. The estimate automatically details the dates and amounts in which you will reach different retirement milestones. The first column displays your normal retirement date. The next column where you can enter in a customized retirement date, followed by your early retirement mark. The next multiplier date, which is when you reach your next multiplier in the formula. And finally, the last column will show your pension would be at age 65. Each column has pension factors used to calculate your pension estimate, such as your years of service, graded multiplier, and average monthly compensation. The portion you want to pay attention to is the monthly benefit field, which is your estimated pension amount. Another feature on the estimator is More Options button at the bottom of each column. By clicking on this button, it allows you to generate estimates for the term certain and joint and survivor annuity options, as well as generating an estimate as to how a partial lump sum will impact your pension. You can also generate a custom estimate using factors that you can enter in. For instance, if you want to see what your pension will look like if you get a raise, you can input the new monthly amount in the salary field. Thinking about purchasing those years of service, you can enter those additional years into the service credit field. The system will automatically pull your factors in from your account. However, you can just backspace them out and then add the custom amounts. The main feature on this page will allow you to highlight is the Retirement Options tab. This tab is a great tool to use if you are considering a joint and survivor annuity option, but are unsure if you'll be able to meet your financial commitments each month with the reduction that comes with it. Simply enter your beneficiary's date of birth and which annuity option you would like to have it calculated, then click Calculate, and the amount that appears will already have the reduction taken into consideration for the respective annuity option. For more information on the annuity options that I mentioned, you might be confused of or haven't heard before, you can check out our annuity options video or the readings under the Retirement Central and Members tab. I hope we've built an awareness around what it means to be a member of the ASRS, and we want to thank you for your service. Remember to go online and access your My ASRS account often. It's been a pleasure presenting to you all today. Thank you so much, and I'm going to answer those questions that we may have in the Q&A.
Thanks so much, Spencer. And to all of our presenters today, as Spencer has mentioned, he's also jumping into the Q&A to continue answering questions coming through. We will be having an updated piece of information from Precision Retirement Group. So Bruce Nelson will be sharing his screen here momentarily to give an update on the contact information for Precision.
Yeah, thanks, Rosie. On the last slide there, second to last slide, we wanted to change the contact information. We are actually having Ben and Mac, their information is up there, their email address, and their Arizona number, the 480-351-3259. Those are the gentlemen that you need to contact to set up a time to go through your medical needs analysis. We apologize for the confusion. We had an older version of our PowerPoint presentation, but this is the contact information for either one of them. In this situation, we're kind of putting more resources into having a lot more flexibility with the option to have that medical needs analysis done. So if you couldn't get a hold of Ben, you can get a hold of Mac or call them directly on the 480 number. appreciate it. Sorry for the miscommunication, but there's their contact information up there, and that will be available as well.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
So, on the screen now, let me take a look. You're able to see it here. Okay, so we have gone ahead and put the contact information once more. If anyone is taking notes and wants to jot down that additional information, including the updated information here for precision. Along with that, we will continue the Q&A for some time here while we're working through answering all of the questions. If you have a question that is very specific and maybe you don't want it viewed on the chat, please know that you can always send those questions to the group here on the contact information if it's specific to their area, or you can email benefits@tusd1.org and we will definitely put you in contact with the proper person to get those inquiries answered.
I just wanted to ask quickly, are other participants able to see the dismissed tab since a lot of questions are being asked that are useful to other people? I'm just not sure if anyone.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of that feature, so I'm actually going into the dismiss tab and I'm going to reopen them so that they are visible on the open tab.
Okay.
Thank you. On our side, we do show that there are some participants who are raising their hand. Unfortunately, the feature was preset to the Q&A feature only. If you are able to type in your questions in the Q&A, we'll definitely get to those and answer the questions that you have for those who have their hands raised.